The livest one, like a Rebecca Stuyvesant, the realest, straight from Phillips. That's right, straight from the Avenue, straight from Phillips Avenue. The livest one, like a Rebecca Stuyvesant, the realest, straight from Phillips. If you're just tuning in, you are tuning in to the photography plug. Last night we had an amazing forum. That's right. Last night we had an amazing forum talking about the situation with P Diddy, and of course that city of New York. So if you're just tuning in, you're tuning in to the photography plug, and of course, um, it's Friday night here. Weather is mild, and we are having this discussion, this open forum. Of course, we'd like to thank our partners over at YouTube for allowing a platform, innovation, Silicon, Elon Musk, Congress, Senate, John Hope. And what we are obviously talking tonight is Sean P. Diddy Combs in custody, his second night being in custody. That second night being in custody, being arrested at a Manhattan hotel. Like we were talking about, every single news network picked this story up. And even some people are saying that this could be possibly the end of hip hop as we know it. I mean, we can remember Pimp C well says, "Well, your hip hop in your book bag." So difference that makes a difference between gangster rap, hip hop, and music, or should you just call it music? But does this put a disdain on what we know as hip hop? I think Method Man was asked today in New York City by TMZ about the comparison of hip hop being thought about way different after the allegations of Sean P. Diddy Combs and 1,000 bottles of baby oil found in his uh, Beverly Hills mansion. Welcome to the photography plug. If you're just tuning in, this is a Friday night, so this forum is open for your discussions. This topic is still buzzing. That's right. The topic is still buzzing, and everybody's talking about P. Diddy. So let us know what you think. Your comments here always are so valuable. And every link, every discussion, and every single discussion is there in that same discussion that everybody talks about. And they are still talking some of the biggest names in Hollywood. That's right, some of the biggest names in Hollywood. And Oprah Winfrey name is coming up, and Jay-Z name is coming up. Now, this is not Tidal nor Jay-Z, nor we have anything against Jay-Z, but we are saying that we will answer comments here at the Photography Club. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Comment, comment, comment. Let us know. We try to do some things with inviting some people to join the live. We'll see how that works. I think it'll be good for the forum. Welcome to the Photography Plug. Comment, comment, comment. Let us know what you think. Now, the second night, Sean is in prison. Now, my advice, you have these experts that are out there that are advise a millionaire how to survive in prison. You know, a lot of millionaires have been incarcerated throughout history. Some of the richest people in the world have met, have seen themselves or found themselves behind bars. That's right. So they have advisors out there that advise people how should they act if they're ever in a situation that they find themselves behind bars or incarcerated. And some of these analysts come up with different ideas how they advise. They're paid top dollar to advise these millionaires how to survive in prison. I'm sure that's a it's a tactical idea for P Diddy to be ready at any and every single moment. I think we all can agree. In a few minutes, we will be going up to the boulevard, but right now we're going to try to find the basis of the conversation, so we're not just everywhere in that topic. Now, how would P Diddy be advised by, I guess, the photography plug, or how would you advise P Diddy? Well, first off, I would tell Diddy, I would say, now, if you are incarcerated your second night, you can see Diddy more than likely already doing push-ups. He had to have something to eat, so he has no choice but to start getting used to eating the foods that are provided to him. So those foods that are provided to P Diddy last night and today, more than likely, are, they are jail food. P Diddy is there eating that jail food that none of us can probably stomach tonight. I know tonight I had McDonald's. McDonald's not healthy, but if you took McDonald's, close all McDonald's and close Coca-Cola, trust me, people will be unsatisfied. So you think about the food that P Diddy is eating tonight. That's right, the food that's on his tray. So Diddy is starting to eat, and as I would advise Diddy, I would say, "Well, P Diddy, I advise you to toughen up. That's right. Really get your hands. You're 54 years old. Really get your mobility in order. That's right. Really start concentrating on becoming a prison fighter." The ability to defend himself. I couldn't see P Diddy winning. Uh, you know, any type of fight or whatsoever. But he is a big guy. So you have to put all of that in account. He's not the smallest individual in the world. So I would say, Diddy, yes, sir, become the best fighter you could possibly become, even at that old age of 54 years old, that older age of 54 years old. He's not 60 yet. So, Diddy, yes, my advice would be to fight. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Photography Plug, where we talk about issues and we keep it 100, we keep it real. All of those phrases you can remember. We talked about this last night. That what's up, is a period of time not too long ago where people just said hello. You know, that was a period of time where people just said hello, and that phrase "what's up" traveled the world, coming from that hip hop industry. That's right. That phrase did not come from anywhere else but Black music. So you think about everybody around the world that said what's up today was influenced by music. All of those hit songs that P. Diddy has, all of those classic hits with Notorious B.I.G., you can hear Diddy in the background. So Diddy's there in the background, kicking and yelling and screaming and telling the world that he's the biggest gangster in the world. But at the time, everybody's afraid of Biggie Smalls. Everybody's afraid of Tupac Shakur. And P. Diddy, nobody's afraid of Diddy, but he has that point to prove. So Diddy eventually has this huge feud. If you don't know, Diddy could have possibly been involved with one of the bigger murders in American and world history. It stands there behind that under the lights of Las Vegas, Nevada, Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls being killed. The feud and the war continued. P. Diddy was always protected very well and never considered even a suspect for many years until recently. So you outline the whole entire career of this affluential artist that nobody liked his music, but he did sort of like Birdman. That's right. He did exactly sort of like a Birdman. He has more features than Little Wayne. He built an empire. That empire of opulence that many brown and black people could never achieve. And behind closed doors, the masses of the people never could imagine. Diddy, the closet, 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Now they're saying possibility of a possible president candidate as an Oprah Winfrey could be involved. I mean, sure, we want to see Jennifer Lopez. Yes, we're all stunned of the allegations from somebody that had that possibility of even running this country one day. And if you're just tuning in, you are tuning in to the Photography Plug. This is the forum where your voice counts. Hello, my friends. And we have a hey, everyone. Hello to you. Let us know where you're from tonight. What country you're in tonight? Last night, Germany tuned in, South Africa, and Australia. That's right. They say Australia is a beautiful country to visit. So welcome, welcome, welcome everybody to the Photography Plug. This is a page where we talk entrepreneurship. We don't try to use any profanity at all. We try to come up with ideas that can possibly change the world, that innovation, that importance. And of course, being with a street photographer, we are live. This is a platform made for adults, people with adult ideas. But I will say this, that if you're on that job site, keep your bright ideas at home. Bring your ideals, keep your bright ideas to yourself. In other words, pick up this couch and we're going to go upstairs. That's an idea, but your bright ideas, keep them to yourselves. Welcome to the Photography Blog. I'll be reading some of these comments. Well, tonight from Brazil, it is a beautiful thing. Brazil, oh my God, we would love to go to Brazil and bring you some of these beautiful Mustangs out there, afforded from Mustang. This is not brought to you by Mustang, but it'd be nice to bring some nice Mustang, American made Mustangs out to Brazil. All the beautiful women in Brazil. And usually I don't use narcotics, I don't use hard drugs. But I always said, if I go to Colombia, Brazil, well, yeah, of course, I'm gonna have a snorter too. Welcome. This is the photography plug. Welcome to Hello, Brazil. Hey, from Canada. Hello, Canada. You know, the whole storm with Drake and Kendrick Lamar and Rick Ross going to Canada. That's right, Rick. There in Canada getting beat up by some Drake fans. Now, never underestimate the light skinned individual with a straight hairline that loves rap music, because they have been unappreciated and they're mad that they are not considered hardcore. So, those Drake fans that's in Canada that brutalized Rick Ross were serious. And like we talked last night, and we are talking P. Diddy tonight, if you go to the deeper parts of the penitentiary, sometimes you will see the more beautiful people in the world. A lot of times people think that when you go to prison, that on the other side of that gate, it's a person that's physically unattractive. But more than less times when you go to the pews, that the people in the brown and the protective custody and um, the more secure prisons that are never getting out, those are sometimes more of the more attractive people. And they would use that attraction by saying, okay, he or her used her attraction to attract this person and to do the crime that they have you with. So in other words, if you have a prosecuting attorney and they don't have the gun, or they don't have, let's say for instance, they don't have a weapon or a crime or a crime scene, then how can they prove anything? And that's exactly what the Homeland Security did with P. Diddy. They went into pictures to have tangible evidence. Tangible evidence. And somebody said ETA 12 minutes. Come on and join me. We're out here, and this is a photography plug. But yes, I like that because that is just like Grand Theft Auto. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Like everybody, welcome to the photography plug. It's not hard to any. It was a study saying that this person posted a picture of um, a landscape on a plane in in the world somewhere. It took the internet about 5 minutes to figure out the location. So it's very simple to figure out locations, and I kind of perfected. I didn't. I wouldn't say I perfected it. Finding out locations are very particularly easy. You can figure out by cabinet size, style of house, bushes, trees, um, landscape, skyline, buildings. So it's very easy to find out where an individual is in the world, anywhere in the world, if you really had to map that down. Um, and when I was in LA, it was it was a situation with, and I want to make one thing clear: when people are out here chasing celebrities, right? When people are out here and they are chasing celebrities, and sometimes the celebrities don't like the people that are being chased by. Now, I found myself uh, loving a beautiful woman out in LA. This was some years back, and but in the meantime, there are other women that people don't see. So you might be chasing this woman, but you might be sitting next to a woman that's trying to take you home. So you're after this particular celebrity, for instance. But what the people don't see is that this other woman that nobody knows about, is right there. She's very beautiful. She's feeding you oysters. She doesn't have on any underwear. You know, so that type of thing goes on every day in LA. So when you see a photographer, you see like that photographer's all up after this celebrity. Or say for instance, you do land that celebrity shot. The next day you look in your DMs and all these girls want to get with you. They're not celebrities, but they for some reason, if I get a celebrity shot tonight, I can look at my DM tomorrow and it would be a female saying, "Hey, take me out here or take me out there," because they want to kind of be involved. Of I don't know, but yeah, that was just a story I like to tell. But welcome, we're talking P Diddy tonight. Very busy night tonight, uh, Friday night. A lot is going on. We're going to try to keep a clear connection all night. So you are tuning in to the photography plug. I greatly appreciate everybody. All the comments. We're covering that P. Diddy story. And looks like a cowboy convention of some sort is going on tonight. Good luck to everybody with your entrepreneur dreams. That's right, those entrepreneur dreams, that business that you want to open up, the ideals that you're ready. We'll be reading some of these comments now. Somebody said nudes. Somebody said you like the freaky stuff. I had a coworker that I was working with one time, and he said everybody likes nasty. I mean, this coworker had all these ideas, and one of the things that he said that was very important to me. He said in slavery, um, they would beat they had to stop beating the slaves because the slaves were becoming too strong. This coworker had all these ideas, and he was about 23, 24 years old. But all his ideas was about this slavery, and how you would think that it would be an older generational person talking about that, but I guess being on these job sites and things of this sort. But we'll be going back to the subject, and that subject is P. Diddy being incarcerated his second night in one of the more dangerous jails in history. That's right, P. Diddy, uh, incarcerated in New York City, and it is buzzing all over the world. All of the tabloids are picking it up. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are tuning in with the Photography Plug. We're going to keep moving here. We're going to see what's going on the boulevard here tonight. We're not going to just stay in the same spot because it's kind of difficult. It was very difficult talking and just staying in that same spot. So, we'll be reading some of these comments now. Somebody said something about 50 Cent, and this was, well, that's in Arabic. So, to all my Christians, hello, and um, thank you, Jesus. I said a lot of people. To my Muslims, assalamu alaikum. To all the different religions, hello, all over the world. We greatly appreciate able to have a platform. Seems like a buzzing night tonight, warm night. Just a few weeks ago, we did get close to the Vice President of the United States of America, and uh, one of my favorite artists, which I didn't even realize I was on stage with him that night because everything happened so quickly. Big Boogie. I like to shout out Big Boogie. And in the distance, you will see a wing stop. Now, if you support Black entrepreneurship, go support Rick Ross Wingstop. That's why Rick Ross is one of the more successful. You have to think about if you have a chain. Now, if you could take your equity out of a house, just imagine what you can do with a chain. Uh, Welcome to the Photography Plug Friday night. A good night to go live. We're going to try to keep these numbers going because when the buzz disappears, and this is a story that's going to last a long time, but we won't star witnesses. Obviously, people would love to see Jennifer Lopez on that stand, and um, I'm sure all of the stars that are involved are Kevin. Was it Kevin Lows that stepped down today? One of the CEOs stepped down. If anybody have that information, one of the CEOs have stepped down, maybe for reasons of a possible implication that they may be implicated. So welcome to the Photography Plug. We're here, a busy Friday night. We stay moving. Yes, we're live. So anything can happen. This is an adult forum. And please be mindful of what you say, not for the sake of others, but for the sake of yourself. So welcome to the Photography Plug. We're here talking Diddy being incarcerated that second night being in that prison must be horrific in many different ways. Um, but would you trade those 2 nights in jail opposed to all of those nights that Diddy was free with some of the most beautiful women in the world, traveled the world to see Paris, London, all of the places that P Diddy has done concerts in, Los Angeles, home. You think about 2 nights in jail compared to so many nights of being free and being a person of power that used that power in any which way that they alleged possible, but nothing factual, and we don't have any videotapes or evidence of anything that's alleged. So we're not one of those companies that come out there and continuously talk about facts that just are not true. At this point, we don't know that Diddy did anything. He denounced everything, saying his attorney came out saying that no, Diddy is a great artist, influential person, and helps the Black community. And never ever did anything wrong. I had an individual in traffic court. Before I went to traffic court, he said, "I will not advise you. I'm not an attorney." This young gentleman came up to me and said, "I want to give you one thing of advice. Even if you are guilty, say you're not. Welcome. I want to welcome yourself to the Photography Club, the street photographer." We'll be reading some of these comments right now. Somebody said they found barrels of feces. That's crazy. Somebody said he is bisexual. Yeah, his attorney came out and said it was a statement. I don't know if it was official or not, but that statement did come out and say something of the sort that P. Diddy was. Um, Hold on, let me read that comment again. Oh, that P. Diddy, uh, he wouldn't be one of the stipulations that he would not be around any women. And a lot of the comments is like, it's obvious that his problem It's not just women. So I think that was a bad move by his defense attorney because you know very well, even in the YSL case, Brian Steele came out and said that um, YSL started with young men wearing um, women's apparel, but weren't saying that Thug was gay. We don't know if he is or not. My point is, I don't think that P Diddy's attorney. I don't think P Diddy's attorney was being honest, and we can all see through that statement. So I think it was a bad move by Diddy's attorney in Manhattan, New York City. And of course, we have another disrespectful comment. If you do happen to have any disrespectful comments, um, please make them catch. There's nothing more important on any on this page is disrespectful comments. We welcome them. We greatly appreciate you being disrespectful. We we how do you call it? We're asking you to follow the guidelines, but we're not the authorities, so we cannot tell you what to do. But we will say, for your own sake, think of something so disrespectful that is so catchy that we can repeat it and we can all laugh about it. So welcome to the photography plugger. Greatly appreciate all the disrespectful comments. But again, back to the subject at hand. Diddy arrested in New York. You think about your second night, what would it be? And would it be more powerful if you told your friend that you just finished Harvard grad school or you just left Rikers Island? So, say for instance, if they say, well, Photography Plug just did a study in Harvard grad school, you guys will be like, wow. But then if somebody said, well, Photography Plug just got booked into Rikers Island or he just got released from Rikers Island, what person will you respect more? The person like a finesse two times that brags about federal. Is it the new norm? John Gotti was made by the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Is that a stamp now in the new era? Is it important if you are ESTG or if you are an artist that lives a life that claims to be a gangster? And will Mick Mill be in this indictment or on video? And if it's a way that somebody can join the live, that'd be great. I think it's a setup. Obviously, all this technology on YouTube is a little bit new, and nobody's an expert at everything. We will be starting to allow people to join the live. They can show their faces. They can not show their faces. We discuss the issues. If you see a button that you can join, that'd be great. I think I have to invite people somehow, but it'd be great to get other people on the line. So welcome to the Photography Plug. Freelance street photographer. Now, when you look up freelance photographer, don't compare me to any of those guys. Now, the internet will humble you quick. You guys humble me fast. If you look up freelance photographers, you're going to see some of the best work you've ever seen. So, no, maybe I'm not the best in the world, but we try to bring you that honesty behind that freedom. So I don't expect any prosecuting attorney or district attorney to look at Photography Plug and say, wow, I love Aisha Diaz. No, I don't expect, um, I mean, maybe a state trooper might look at the page and say, oh man, Aisha Diaz is beautiful. And most of these girls go both ways. So they know for sure they love Aisha Diaz or Carucci or any of the eye candy that we try to bring you guys in original format. So welcome to the Photography Plug. I hope you're out somewhere enjoying your Friday night. We're out enjoying this beautiful Friday night with street photographer, videotaping this city in America. So welcome to the Photography Plug. Somebody commented, oh yeah, he messed around with McMill. Um, you know, that is a thing that came up and Nicki Minaj hinted towards that faction of the possibility of McMill being involved in some type of relationship with Sean Puffy Combs. That would be devastating. Now you have Boston Richie. Think about Boston Richie confessing on videotape. Future giving Boston Richie that advice to never stop making music. People are still listening to Gunna. So why would people stop listening to any artist? Maybe a Frank Ocean, perhaps. And me in particular, I don't listen to Frank Ocean, and I definitely don't watch Little Nas X videos, and I don't hate anybody that does. But it's certain things I don't allow in my spirit. Welcome to the Photography Plug. Reading some of these comments right now. Somebody said, I got baby oil for sale. Baby oil even came out and said this was not a safe way to use this product. That's right. Even baby oil said no, that pink top is not going to work. Me personally, I can't touch that pink top. The brown top is a little bit better, but pink baby oil is too greasy and it's something in it that breaks me out. So I don't know who are all these people that can use baby oil without bumps coming all over your body. I mean, I don't have anything against baby oil, but you got to have some discretion saying that yes, this stuff is not good for your skin if it's not used in a very small amount. And I mean, one drop. So a week later, you'll see on your face somewhere, it's a bump. So welcome to the Photography Plug. Friday night, subscribe, donate. This page is about entrepreneurship and opening your own business. We probably passed about 20 businesses already, mostly owned by our lighter friends. So welcome and make sure that your business is going to be one of the more important new businesses and ideas in American history. Welcome to the Photography Plug. Somebody comment, people say you were at Diddy party. Any comments on that? Um, I did go to a Diddy. It was an after party. Yes, it was, and I think somebody ended up getting shot that night. Way back then, I think Busy Bones was there, and it's a whole bunch of footage that I'm gonna actually release it all over again of people running and like I said, somebody got shot out there that night, and Diddy pulled up in a bulletproof. Uh, he got escorted out like like he was the president of the United States of America. Uh, all his people were surrounded by him. I thought I got video of it, but it was like cell phone video, if I did, of him leaving out. But I do remember vividly him being protected by his staff like none other. Now, this is when Future, this is before the whole fallout. Remember, Diddy had a fallout with Future. Future said nobody drinks the rock. There was a whole thing behind that. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Tune into the photography plug. But you remember Future. This Future talked about that. But Boston Rich kept his career. So, who are people not going to listen to the music anymore? I don't think that's a possibility. So comment, comment, comment. Let us know what you think about it. Let us know what club you're going to tonight, what nice spot you're going to, where you're going to hang out, how many drinks you're going to take. Do you smoke? What type of bud do you smoke? And what type of music do you listen to? I mean, do you will you listen to Notorious B.I.G. after this? Does this affect you listening to P Diddy? I mean, not too many people buying Diddy albums, that is for sure. But maybe you had your favorite. And he is all over the charts. Songs maybe you didn't know he wrote. So will this affect your opinion on music in general? Not just rap music, R&B, hip hop, or gangster rap, CrossFit, or anything that you might put your mind to. Diddy there tonight in jail. Diddy's in jail tonight, and it's probably not fun until he figures out how to make it fun. If he does the math behind how many days he had good versus how many days he had bad, Diddy would come on top. Remember, remember that P. Diddy, that's right, brung us one of the most gangster rappers of any generation to ever exist. That's right, Diddy's there bringing us Notorious B.I.G., working with Nipsey Hussle, selling platinum albums, and it's only uh, 2 days in jail. I mean, would you rather take those 2 days in jail, or 2 months in jail, or 2 years in jail, opposed to living that luxury lifestyle that P. Diddy lived for many years? Is Arch Dark. Shout out to you, Arch Dark. Comment means so much at Photography Plug. Art Dark commented Diddy's parties. He just needs to get his baby oil all right. That was a scene that you would see out of a horror movie. That's right. I could not see the amount of money if I was a billionaire to have that much baby oil for no given reason. The only thing that I can come up with is that his skin works well with that. So Lord knows, baby oil and adult content doesn't mix. I'm sorry. In my opinion, that a man should only get a manicure 2 or 3 times in a lifetime, but you have to think about if you had all of that money and you didn't have to go to work anymore. You had a brand new Maybach outside, a private a private a chauffeur to chauffeur you around. Just say if you had a Maybach, a private chauffeur every day, a condo in New York. We're not saying you're P Diddy, but let's just say you had that condo. Every day you walked up with a Maybach. Every day you went in your pocket and it was full. You can go anywhere and have that star power. Let's say you didn't even have star power, but that by itself, I think, forms a new man, and that man is not an alpha, or he's a man that is, like they were saying, a bisexual. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the Photography Plug. We talking real issues, real deal allocations. We can go at any of these night spots. I might go in and grab a beer, but we're going the right night spot. But the thing about the copyright music, so I might have to wait until I get off of live. But if it's a live band, that would be very nice. But as soon as that copyright music starts hitting, you can forget about that live. It has to be 100% authentic. And from this point on Photography Plug, all of our imagery is 100% authentic and derives from the Photography Plug. We're very proud about that. We were reading some of these comments about Diddy being incarcerated in New York City. That's right. The buzz is still going, and people are still talking about this subject, this very subject that has one of the more influential artists of any generation in putting out artists. This is not a Young Thug. Young Thug is an amazing artist. This is a producer, a CEO of a company, a Fortune 500 individual. I mean, black people's money is not worth anything. If you are a black person and you're worth $500 million and you can't get out on bail, I mean, is your money worth anything? I personally went into a store and I talked about this. That I personally went into a store. That's right. And I had $200 bills on me and a $50 bill. A few minutes earlier, I talked about this yesterday. I was pulled over by the Charlotte Mecklenburg police with the helicopter. Officer was a little nice and he said, "Hey, nice car. I thought you was gonna run from us. People in these cars usually don't." He didn't search the car and let me go down North Tryon. Went down North Tryon. And shouts out to S Dub too. He has a shop out there. But went down North Tryon. I mean, they built up North Tryon bigger than New York City, really. And I remember riding down North Tryon. I would get pulled all the time. But make a long story short, I stopped at a Taco Bell, $200 bills in my pocket, $50 bill. I parked my car and I went and paid for two tacos and a drink. And the lady said, "Well, your money's not real." So right after being pulled over by the police and the helicopters, they said, "Well, your money's not real." Now today, I took my car to a shop. I hate to get off subject, but let you know who I am. I'm a real person. But I took my car to the shop, and then so when you take your car to the dealership, what happens is it's automatically reported to the state that your car was inspected. So I took it to the shop, and as soon as my car got fixed, the state the state said, "Okay, your car is worth this amount of money, and we want to tax you basically $185, saying that my car is worth all of this money that they know it's not." So it's like, if you do go get your stuff all fixed up and nice, you get that letter in the mail that's saying, "Oh yeah, we know you got your car fixed. Go ahead and pay those taxes on that too, because we're going to appraise your car at the very highest price possible," and had the nerve to say my car was worth way more than it really was. But welcome to the Photography Plug. We're talking P Diddy. Somebody commented, "I thought you were in jail," and we talked about that. We said, how valuable is that? See, that just that rumor by itself kind of brings attraction to people. And when I was much younger, my mother said being locked up is not attractive. And at the time, I didn't understand what she meant by saying that. But I understood later on in life that some women are attracted. I mean, if Tupac Shakur was never locked up before, If John Gotti didn't go to prison, he just lived on the beach. If DMX was uh, not the drug addict that he became, if all of these artists out here was young Dro, you haven't heard about him ever since he sobered up and changed his life. Ti is not relevant, not just because he's an older rapper, but because he's cleaned up his life. Little Uzi Vert is selling records all over the world. He's drug induced. So it's kind of opposite to when people used to say, "Oh, I thought you was in jail." Like the worst thing in the world will be making your career. Like I said before, if you ever make it to Rockets Island, my friends, you've made it. Welcome to the photography plug. So again, my advice to P Diddy, I'm gonna clean off this so you can see a little bit clearer, hopefully. Okay. So my advice to P Diddy would be to already be looking at every inmate crossing by, saying what's up, get in the feel of being incarcerated. Yeah, Diddy should be somewhere starting. Hey, y'all got dice? I just need some dice so I can. Yeah, Diddy need to start getting comfortable and showing his power in a way that nobody could ever understand. Now, my advice to anybody that is in Rockets Island, if I was P Diddy, I would be telling them transfer me to Rockets. They are taking notes and they are writing everything down. But in this particular instance, I would say Diddy use a split personality on them and be the best person in court. But soon as you leave court, Mr. Sean P Diddy Combs, become a gorilla. Show those people that you are relentless, that no hole will ever stop your pain, that your money is long and wide, that you would get and destroy there very easily. How much money does a correction officer in New York City make? Let's say if a correction officer in New York City makes 60,000, you're telling them, I will listen. You don't have to literally utter the words to make it a legal issue. You can look at people, you can intimidate people, you could become the most notorious person in American history. And I would advise Diddy to possibly choose that route instead of the other possibility. Somebody commented, chickens have came home to roost. The chickens have came home to roost. That was a comment by Patricia Turner. So shouts out to Patricia Turner. We are a forum where we're looking for people to donate, donate, donate. That is important because we're talking capitalism on this page and the importance of not falling in love with capitalism, but knowing the importance of that great American dollar bill. And we are here announced yesterday that we said yes to just talking the music industry because this is a platform of radio talk, in other words, of music industry. uh, Little Wayne, and pound for pound, is sitting there with his last hit. By our analyzation, for many years of being involved in the hip hop music industry, working for Universal in the NBA, that we see that none other than Little Wayne being the best rapper, pound for pound, that ever existed on this planet. Welcome to the Photography Plug, where your comment counts. Somebody said that Dodge Charger. So it is the difference between a Charger and a Challenger. Those Chargers are pretty cool too, and I haven't seen the new ones. But those older chargers are awesome. So yes, this is a page that we do. I'd like to shout out to Dodge Brothers. Rest in peace to the Dodge Brothers. And hopefully, um, we can have that contract with Dodge in the near future. Most of the time, we are in a Dodge um, chasing down celebrities. They knew us by that Dodge, and we stand behind the brand. And I did talk earlier about how the state, when you take your car to the state, you get it inspected. They already know that your car is inspected. Then they send you a letter in the mail saying that your car is appraised at way more than the value by having that tax. Again, it just costs. So welcome to the photography plug. We're talking P Diddy tonight. Somebody just commented they all are going down, saying that possibly all of them are possibly going down. And I don't know what he means by all. You know, who are all the people that are involved? You know, that's a nice clear view. So welcome to the photography plug. We are talking P Diddy's second night incarcerated. It didn't look good for the federal government to arrest P Diddy by all white officers. That didn't look good. That wasn't a good strategy at all. You always have to think strategy. So they got the federal government arresting a black man in a city where disdain is black. Young black men run up to me all the time when I'm in New York, and they feel like they can talk to me a little bit more than their local mayor. So they tell me, and they actually point to their skin and they say, you know, we're not welcome. We're not welcome in Manhattan. We're not welcome here. So for those federal officers to arrest that imagery all over the world, those white officers arresting that black man in that airport with their shirts out of their pants, looking tacky. Those federal officers look tacky, and they usually do. I don't know if you've ever been to a federal prison or a local jail when the federal officers come in. They usually, I think that's a strategy where they kind of look a little uh, rustic, like they might be wearing brown clothes and they're walking together, and it's a more uniform type of thing. But they're not sloppy, but they're not very sharp. I think those officers that arrested P Diddy in that Manhattan hotel were like those officers that I'm describing, and those officers were actually um, tattered. Yes, they look very tattered, just like some normal white guys walking around with a gun on their hip. And if P Diddy was really running from 4 or 5 white guys, why not just go to Africa and then? But I think the issue was you need a pilot that is not going to say that you held him against your life. So you would really need to learn how to fly a plane if you want to do that, because you could you could beat P Diddy on that plane headed to Africa, and the federal government says, "Well, we can't catch him right now. Let him land and do all of that." But say, for instance, yeah. So say, for instance, you're telling your pilot you paid your pilot and everything, but he lands the plane and says, "No, Diddy had me against my will." So then that would turn into kidnapping. So I think that was a thing of him having a pilot to leave the country, because he could have easily left the country and not even and he could have left the country and been naive about the situation, and could have done like Saddam Hussein done all those years ago, when Saddam Hussein was running from the United States of America, and he would come out of his hole and wave to the people like a champion. So I thought that would be very interesting for Sean to do. So, welcome to the photography plug. Feels like we're peaking this subject. In other words, it feels like the numbers going up and going down, but I mean, the numbers are amazing. Just the rails by themselves. So, this number, this consecutive number, may not be amazing, but it's still a steady number that I'm satisfied with on a Friday night. We were planning on no work tomorrow, so going live on a daytime live feed and talking more about the subject. But if you haven't heard, your former president of the United States of America, Donald Trump, assassination attempt number two, has the Secret Service on edge. That's right, has the Secret Service on edge. And even me just talking Secret Service, I remember recently going home and kind of seeing a white truck there and a guy with an earpiece. I mean, obviously, he just being a black photographer, dealing with a lot of different um, undercovers that possibly work for whoever they work for. But it's no new thing to the photography plug. I actually came up dealing with this situation as a child. So I've been dealing with the Federal Bureau of Investigation since I was in second or third grade, and it's nothing new. So it doesn't worry me like most people are. The Homeland Security and those factions are supposed to be our tax dollar for us, but obviously we see these police stations are more so for against us. That's why I said the federal government did not look good. You didn't look good arresting P Diddy with all white officers. We're going to turn this thing into a black and white thing, and they already have. Welcome to the photography plug. That's one thing that always sells. And I think I was talking to an officer downtown, and he said, "I don't think your agenda." He was trying to really get me to articulate that I'm trying to incite a riot. I wasn't trying to incite a riot or articulate a war. I was just trying to say that you never know who has the power to dictate something coming in fruition. I remember going out to Martin Luther King's home and sort of manifesting some events. And like I said before, they towed my car from Martin Luther King's home. And I remember saying, free at last, thank God Almighty, we're free at last." Right there in Atlanta, not too far from downtown, Martin Luther King's home. And they looked at me with so much disdain. I found myself after my car being towed in that area and going to Martin Luther King's church. So those visuals that you see on those rails that are so clear is actually the podium that Martin Luther King spoke from. And I was there, and some kids came in, and I was actually crying. And the kid said, "I thought he was a statue." And so they were running around, and the guy ran in, and he seen me because they was trying to keep me out. So all of a sudden, I become enemy number one, and it was a helicopter that came up and circled Martin Luther King's house. And so I had uh, called the news and said that you can't call the police and say something, but you can call the news and tell them anything that you want. So sometimes, we'll make a long story short. What happened was somebody else tried to end up burning Martin Luther King's home down because they was only accepting white people to visit Martin Luther King's home to this day. It's a list that anybody can. The ratio of white people visiting Martin Luther King's home compared to black people is 90 to 10%. In other words, the government still owns and appraised Martin Luther King's home for $1,500,000, meaning that those trucks over there, those both of those lots are probably worth Martin Luther King change. So it was that issue of them selling alcohol in that region. So I definitely didn't like the fact of alcoholics coming up on Martin Luther King's home, and they had to tell the officer because I seen her, and I basically was about to track her back down because she was. They said, "Yeah, you're right today, but a part of history." He said, "Well, a part of history, you're wrong." So they told that officer. They said, "Yes, you're right today, but that guy out there that's fighting for these alcoholics is going to be right for a lot longer." So welcome to the Photography Club. That was my uh, situation when I went to Martin Luther King's home, trying to take a deep breath of all of what we go through as Black people. And they towed my car. I paid thousands of dollars to get it back. And then it was just a whole big situation. So welcome, welcome, welcome. It's not a lot of comments tonight. A lot of people could be busy tonight, out. If you just listen to my voice, I hope that it brings you some type of inspiration. That's right, some type of inspiration that will bring in fruition your business, that business that can change the world. That's right. No matter what, we all don't have forever to live. So our decisions must be sharp and strong and made clearly, not drug induced. We talked about cleaning up Skid Row many times on this show, and even going to Martin Luther King's home. That's right. And going to all these different places. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome everybody to the Photography Club. We're on the boulevard, the livest one. Like I'm from Bedford Stuyvesant, the realest, straight from Phillips, straight from the avenue, straight from Phillips Avenue. The Diddler. I don't know what that's about. We got a comment and it's from MOI. Shouts out to you, the Diddler. The Diddler. That's right. Our advice to P Diddy is it's the same advice every single time, and that business advice, that model that we live by Americans, that are taught to us by our forefathers, not just our biological forefathers, but our forefathers, as in the Trumps, as in the Suge Knights, as in the bullies of the world. Now, we can have a peace march one time a year, but mainly to protect America, we must be brutal. So when you're at your voting booth, remember we need a president there that's going to be able to strike countries far and wide, and that America must be number one because may not be our country, but it's a country that we must take hold and have that power and hold that power. Somebody said they bought real estate and hold real estate. There's no city that doesn't shut down about 4 o'clock in the morning. So if you say that you can't shoot a Batman movie, even though the movies are out of business, if you say that you can't do anything, like my brother E40 said, he said, you don't know nothing about no timing. See, it's all about the timing. And if you go to Times Square at noon, everybody's there. But if you go at 4 o'clock in the morning, how many people are there? The great American citizen owns America. We have to strike at the right moment. Yes, that right moment as an entrepreneur is more revolutionary than anything that you can put your hands on physically. Well, let us not never forget that anything can be articulated and articulated into that power of becoming the most powerful entity in the world that offends everybody, like Diddy. Diddy offended people by his wealth, how he flaunted his money, how white people couldn't accomplish the things that P. Diddy had only Very few people in the entire world will ever see one day of Diddy's life. If you had one day of Diddy's life, your life would be so much better. I guarantee it. We have a comment, and I hope it's from France because my friend says she is French, French, or he. I will see. MOI shouts out to you. And go right there to photography plug. That's right. DM me your IG on Instagram, photography plug. Same company. We're going to a different format, which is YouTube. We could do a little bit more. We know Adam over there at IG. We'd like to shout out Adam. We like you too. Adam had knee surgery, and Adam is the president of Instagram. And I'd like to shout him out. I'm so glad that he's recovering. Also, my own mother had knee surgery, and she is recovering and doing well. And I am so proud of her. And this is why you're hearing my voice tonight from a very beautiful mother that had knee surgery. So shouts out to you. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're in France. And I would love to come to France. We'll go live. We'll only go live. We'll do videos. We'll get models. We'll have fun. I want to also go to Bollywood, not just Hollywood. Bollywood, 4 billion people. People, get excited about life. Get excited right now about life. You see how the traffic is getting a little thin because if you come out here late at night, it's all yours. I guarantee it. You can call photography people. I'll back you up on every amendment that you need. You don't need any press passes. I never paid for one ticket in my entire life. I've no door is designed, no matter what. You see this door here? You see how it's locked? You see the locks on this door? It's prevented. But if you wait here long enough, no matter what door this was, no matter how locked, they locked it. But guess what? In the morning, somebody's going to open that door. So if this was the White House, somebody will eventually open the doors. That's right. No door is designed to stay closed. Welcome. You're tuning into the photography plug. Don't go to France if you don't speak my French. Well, you don't come to America if you don't speak our English. We want to invite you here if you speak English or you don't. Actually, those accents are very attractive, especially if you're a woman. Um, so we'd like to invite you to America, whether you know our language or you don't. But we want you to not just depict us as entertainers. We are more than just entertainers. Hopefully, we can get a sideshow out here tonight. Some of these guys come out and spin the cars out. And we'll go up here to Wings Stop and get us some wings. But it doesn't look like we're gonna get a sideshow here tonight. But tonight we are talking P Diddy. We are still live, and we've been live for a while. I check the numbers now. We are live over an hour, so still have some nice battery charge, so we'll stay live. Remember, if you're black out there, you need to get you a cell phone. Don't be a dinosaur. That's what my last boss told me. He said, "Don't be a dinosaur. Keep a phone that is up to date." That's right. Don't depend on them Barack Obama phones, but do whatever you have to do to be successful and start your business because this forum is about entrepreneurship and more so black and brown entrepreneurship. They say the Mexicans are making it was a protest today, and these Mexicans went off the job site and they had all of their signs pissed off. So, welcome to America and welcome to the Photography Club. So, nice night tonight. We have about 200 consecutive people. Which, if I had 200 consecutive people right here near me, the whole city and a couple of police would be trying to escort us. Remember, we're live now. Anything can happen when we're live. We have the goons and goblins out here. So that's why a lot of times you see me on live on the main boulevard. Because, like I said, the goons and goblins are always out, and you always have to be on point. Make sure that you keep a weapon with you and that you're ready to attack at any moment because people will brutalize you. And this is about being brutal. So if you're the one on offense, I do want to shout out Tom Brady tonight. I give you a lot of flack, but Tom Brady, great offense for so many years. We don't even know the defenders that paid for those Patriots those many years ago. So stay on offense. Watch these people out here. Know that you're a target at any time, and that people might not want to see you succeed. That being said, be polite. Don't use any profanity. And when you go on a trip in other countries, because if you think police brutality is just in America, you have lost your mind. Let me tell you, my favorite country, Ethiopia. I got a feeling if the police get a hold to me in Ethiopia, they'll probably knock me out with the AK-47. That's right. I ran into a couple of police in Ethiopia, and they weren't nice to me. And they had the AK-47 there with them. And the other officer will probably wake you up. So they playing good guy, bad cop. At the end of the day, you can pay a fine and you'll go home with a slight concussion. So police brutality is not just in America. It's not an American phenomenon. Slavery is not either. And it's not in just one religion. In all religions, and we all must have some repentance in some type of way, knowing that none of us are perfect. So welcome to the Photography Plug. I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. And all of the numbers, we are getting close to 118,000 subscribers. That's right. It feels like only 118,000 subscribers by now. I feel that YouTube is being fair. Yes, Adam, Instagram was not being fair at all. I was getting thousands and thousands and thousands of views, and for some reason, I will only get them when celebrities would repost. So, if you have 50 celebrities reposting your stuff, it's a point in time where you should look at your algorithm, because you can, when we talk algorithm, you can become the algorithm. In other words, if you make enough videos, that's right, if you make 1,000 videos, right, you become the algorithm. So people are afraid to talk algorithm. Yes. So people are afraid and talk algorithm, but if you're really hungry, you have to think about the greats. They don't compete with just the people that are live today. They're competing with the future. So somebody told me, they say you're putting out too many videos. I'm not even competing with my younger self, which you can compete with your younger self, which is impossible. Your younger self will more than likely beat you and more hungrier. But the greats compete with the future. We have a comment from JB, and it says, "You don't bring a weapon to attack you, bring a weapon to defend. There's a difference between attack and defend, even if you are using violence." Very good comment. Um, no, that's what I'm basically saying, that your attack is a defense. And we're not saying you attack anybody, but if you go to Rockets Island, or if you are, like, for instance, if you're really on point and you're always on point, right? Like if you have your weapon at your ready and you're looking around and you're seeing if anybody's trying to attack you, because if somebody has to attack you, more than likely they have to kind of get close, unless they're going to shoot across the street. Now, if they're going to shoot across the street, you're done anyway. If anybody wants to do anything to you and they really want to just sit up in the woods all night long and take a sniper shot at you, you're out of here. They might catch the person, they might not. I don't know if you went to your local downtown and see how many unsolved homicides there are. But I had a friend of mine told me a long time ago, said very easy to kill somebody, very hard to. But back to your subject, yes, to defend yourself is sometimes to be on that attack. I'll show you right now. So if I'm walking up on a bridge, right, you see that guy in front that went to the left, he can have any weapon. You have to be aware. It's another person there. Okay. So would it be smart for me to keep straight? Or would it be smart for me to watch out for these cars that could kill me? Just watch out for these cars and go in the middle. Or go there and he can have battery acid. He can have a weapon right now. So what I do is cross the street. Right. Got my weapon on me and I'm looking. A spontaneous move that can save your life. That very simple move. I'm too close to him. Now, if he shoots from here, I'm done. If anybody's hiding in the woods, you're done. So I see this person. There's a sniper on the right hand side. Okay, but he didn't take a shot. So he's not a threat. So person in front of me, I'm behind them, but that person right there is right there. See? So to the right, still a threat. So now I cross over again. Then I get this good shot. Get the good shot. Make sure you get those good shots as a photographer. But seriously, if they know you're not a target, that's not going to be easily dealt with. They're not going to attack you. If you're in broad daylight and you're ready, you accomplish two things. You have all these cameras, you have all these witnesses. You're not doing anything wrong. Uh, you're on the main strip. Only 50 people in American history have ever been recorded murdered on the main strip. So if somebody did do the worst in broad daylight and other witnesses filmed me while I might be laying down, then I'm American history. So it's a way that you can set up yourself for success because we're all going to leave here one day, regardless. So whether you went to Harvard University or you went to Rikers Island, my friends, you can be the most powerful person in American and world history. Welcome to the Photography Club, where we believe that anything is possible. Now, don't get me wrong now. If you find yourself on the south side of Chicago, in Compton, in Watts, and all your life you've been in Compton, or you've been in Watts, or you've been in South Side Chicago, it's places where the news don't report. And it's no way that if you're on South Side Chicago, that you're going to get the same attention if you're in Washington, D.C. and your president at your White House. So it's a strategy behind where you stay, where you lay. So if you spend all day on the south side of Chicago or Watts or Central, if you're in Watts, right? Kendrick Lamar kind of sound like he's from Watts on all of his new music, dissing Drake. Yeah, Watts, Watts, like Watts. He's from Watts. That's almost a Watts album. Shouts out to Watts. But if you're in Watts, don't go there. You're shaking people's hand, but that's only going to last a little while. You have to be brutal to survive, ready, on point. Somebody said also uh, at a, I don't want to actually tell you who's told me this, but somebody very close to me said, if somebody ate a meal, right, that the mob, because you won't die, my friends, from the bullet. If you eat a big meal from the Waffle House right now, Wingstop, and somebody catches you coming out, your food is still digesting. And stick with me here. Now your food is still digesting. So if you're full, the likelihood of you dying increases by 80% because you're going to choke to death and suffocate. So the mob bosses used to wait to their opponent or opposition or op would be full, and then they would attack because your digestive system can't digest your food because you're choking to death, and it doesn't have anything to do with the bullet wound. In other words, if you don't have anything in your stomach, you have a better chance of survival. So, welcome to the Photography Plug. We are talking surviving prison with P Diddy. What would you do if you was in a situation where you was on Rikers Island? And is Rikers Island the new Harvard University? That's right, Columbia. I haven't heard of too many people coming out of Columbia, but I sure heard of Finesse 2 times. I sure heard of Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z was locked up in one of those jails as a young man. So somebody said, "On God." Shouts out to you. I love working with all my young guys down there. Sometimes to survive as an entrepreneur, you work any job. This whole boulevard represents all the jobs that you can work. So I kind of represent any job on this boulevard. I'm not afraid to work. It doesn't matter what it is, even if it's Wendy's. I don't want to work. I worked at the Bojangles, not just for one day, working in temporary, and that was a lovely job. I mean, I was on a college campus. It was a very small one. I done ate about 15 chicken sandwiches. So, um, welcome to the Photography Club where we keep it real here too. So if you're on these boulevards and you're in America, you should have some type of hustle, some type of job, some type of legal hustle, some type of job. Even if it's an illegal hustle, we don't care. We're the Photography Plug. We don't mind you having an illegal hustle here. We are not the authorities, and we could care less about their opinion about us and our influence. So we want you to have your hustles, legal or illegal. If you are a drug dealer, congratulations. Welcome to the Photography Plug. Somebody just commented absolutely nonsense. Sometimes when you have a company and you say, man, my company is failing, you give me the microphone. Yeah. Sometimes when you have a company, you say, well, why does he do all this? Because sometimes we're barely keeping the lights on. As a black entrepreneur in this country, that is so important. If you're in the army, we love you. If you're in the Navy, we care about you. But how many people care about the black entrepreneurship or brown entrepreneur or the entrepreneur without a color? Where are the forms for them? I mean, if you go to war and you want to kill whoever you're going to do it, you have the M16, you have the grenade. But what weapon do you need to be that entrepreneur that's going to be successful? That when they say, well, an individual, they were talking about an individual the other night, and they were saying that this individual was brain dead, that no more was this person's brains any good. I walked by there and I didn't see. But then they say, yes, that individual. So the brain no longer works. So while our brains are thinking, let them be thinking about a business. But not about a business to satisfy the preacher. This is not about religion. This is not about Jesus or Allah. We all have whatever religion we believe in. This is about capitalism. I think it's unfair when you talk about, unless you're going to be one of these preachers that make millions and millions of dollars off of TD Jakes, and people are talking TD Jakes being involved with P Diddy. My ex used to listen to TD Jakes, and I was thinking like, honestly, I was thinking like anybody, and I do want to use respect and discretion to TD Jakes, but anybody that looks like TD Jakes is out of shape, my friends. It's very unattractive. I'm sorry. You can tell if an attractive man comes around your wife or an unattractive man, you know if she wants someone or not. TD Jakes, I could not see any woman wanting TD Jakes. I apologize. By saying that, they're saying he was involved with P Diddy and another star that I cannot necessarily think about, but nice Friday night shooters. If you're out and about, go say what's up to shooters. I might go in there and grab a beer after I get off live. Well, welcome, 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 welcome to the photography plug. You remember, you got to keep moving. I was in South Central, keep moving. In Beverly Hills, keep moving. It was a night that I was in Beverly Hills. Give me a second. We can read some of these comments. We got some new ones in. Does not affect your survivability either. I don't have the answers to everything. I only can give you my advice, and I can be wrong. So I can't be 100% right. Nobody's gonna live forever. Nobody will survive forever. But as long as I've survived, I've tried to do it the best I possibly can. Maybe it worked for you. I just want to give you some positive um, feedback in that realm of survival tactics. If you're always on point and you're always ready and you're rested, now that is another thing. When you go to these big cities, and say for instance you're in a big city and you find yourself with nowhere to go, uh, what happens is you get extremely tired. You eventually have to fall asleep. On every street, there's a crook, and he's ready for you to get tired and fall asleep, start making bad decisions. How do you make bad decisions? Not having proper sleep or a proper bath. So if you have those things, the money is not the issue. If you have something really good to eat, you have a roof over your head, right? If you're in say for instance, you're in New York City, you have all of those things. Somebody commented, JB, M16 is no longer uh, standard issue. The M4 is, yes, yes. I'm sure that changed so many years ago. I think they went to the AR-15. The M16. He's talking about the Marines. Motto was that M16. Uh, my motto is still that M16. They went to a standard M4. But the thing about when you talk about defense, you can have a Mac 11, you can have a drum, but if you react in that correct manner, you're ready, you're on point. You can have your own hand, your own person to defend, and you really just want to get out of there. So, uh, I mean, I just had two or four young gentlemen. I don't know if you noticed, I wasn't live yet, but they kind of looked like they wanted to rob me. But the way I was walking, and I promise you that I will attack in a way that is lethal and that I'm very reckless on defending myself. So people know me and they know me well, but yeah, I'm not saying that anybody very easily can be broken. And they said that about Osama bin Laden when he was in the peak of his career, and the United States of America was after Osama. Um, they asked him what would happen. A massive group of Muslims, what would happen to Osama. They're very frank about what would happen to him, and they simply said, "Yes, Osama bin Laden will break like a twig." So yes, in the right situation, but until that day, you have to stay on point and be ready at your ready, and, and more than likely sober. A sober person can take advantage of a person that's intoxicated. So, that is a big factor in self defense, being sober and being at your ready. and being ready with that M16. Welcome to the Photography Plug. Somebody said I shouldn't give advice on subjects that I'm not knowledgeable in. Um, so then I guess up to you, I wouldn't give any advice at all. I mean, I don't think if somebody doesn't think you're knowledgeable at anything, and that's the thing about being black, is you have to be, Michael Jordan had to be the best in the world. Kobe Bryant has to be the best in the world. Photography Plug has to be the best in the world. So if I get shots of Rihanna and a white photographer gets shots of Rihanna, we're treated way differently. So the more subscribers and the more people that support us, the more hate. The news won't report on us because we beat their numbers. So they help us so much because if you think about, if nobody wants to report on you because they have to explain the story. So if the news did report and say, well, Photography Plug, he's just a person, well, we're going to say, no, he's not a photographer. He's a person that we know nothing about his YouTube, or we don't know anything about him taking any photos of anybody. We just know his first and last name, and we're going to report on that because they're so afraid that a black company has been outdone them, and it's on record in this region. The baby is number one in Charlotte. Now he has 10 million subscribers. Yes, shouts out to the baby in Charlotte. Now in this region, we are number one. So welcome to the Photography Plug, number one in this region. Already reported on board. It's a network that reports on who's the biggest in the area. But tonight we're talking P Diddy. We're not talking statistics and all of that mumbo jumbo. Incarcerated. What would you do if you was in Rikers Island? What would you do if you were in Rikers Island tonight? That's right. You think about P Diddy being in Rikers Island. You know, Diddy there for the second night, starting to get used to eating the food. Maybe he's making a new album. Maybe Diddy can come to your city and offer up $50 million. I guess the federal government doesn't want that because you would get the money. I mean, are they after Diddy's empire? You know, they wanted the arrest to be public. And being arrested by 4 or 5 white federal officers doesn't look good for America. That's right. It just doesn't look good for America. Now, this page is a page where an entrepreneur is trying his best to keep the lights on in his business. If you find this page very disturbing to you, it's parental aggression advised. We don't advise you to come here at all. If it disturbs you so much that every night you go to sleep, all you can think is the Photography Plug. This is a company and an entertainment company. None of this is impersonal to you or your own person. Even if you're a sheriff or you're a local artist, I mean any harm or any hurt towards you. We're just trying to keep the lights on here. I don't want to come on here and talk for hours and hours on, but somehow we have to get views. We don't get views by sitting around and smoking blunts all day, even though I love to enjoy to do that. We get views by being live or doing rails or taking pictures of celebrities. So if this offends you and you want to slime me out, be a man about it. You just hate the fact that I got the juice, right? Charlemagne, Bun B at one period of time, uh, any artist, even Michael Jackson, one day was a nobody. One day he became a huge star and then became the biggest star in the world. Now, we're not saying that your brother, your sister, your aunt, your cousin, or anybody else is going to believe in you. And we are saying people will try to kill you. And people have tried to kill me over views, not money. This Photography Plug gets so many views. I want them dead over that alone. And that is true. So be careful on social media. Everybody could possibly turn against you. And I don't advise anybody to watch Photography Plug every single night. I don't even want to watch it every single night, but I have to push this company forward. So welcome to the photography plug. Don't take anything personal. We don't have anything personal against anybody. And that's why we taught the federal government, the CIA, the Congress, and these entities. There's always that one kid that wants to prove the point and he can get himself hurt or locked up forever. But there's no way out of that. It's just the fact of the life we live, and we all must stay on point wherever we go. We must be protected and protect ourselves and watch out for these individuals that's trying to inflict harm on our community. I even talked about the police. Now, when you talk about the police, all the gangsters get scared. That's right. I guess they say, well, hell, are you on the police side or are you not? They're saying that to me, but in reality, I'm thinking to myself, like, are you on their side? Or do we need to pull your paperwork? Because when you talk about subjects like Asanya Massey and P Diddy and black people being disenfranchised in this country, it offends people. And more, it offends black people. Any type of success. My advice would be not just your business. Find a good person to work for. Work that business and then start your business. But trying to hurt somebody by the words that you say or physically can end deadly. And this is the photography plug, and we stay live a lot. So we stay protected, and anything can happen while you're on live. Welcome. I'll be reading some of these comments here, and I appreciate people staying with me through these dark parts. You can see back there, you can hear somebody rumbling in a local trash can for some odd reason. And I did feel like that America, I seen a white individual picking his brain out. I don't know if you've seen it's a video going around about a individual that has a terrible drug problem. He's picking his brain out. Um, if I would have personally seen that personally, I would have personally, as an American citizen, issued a state of emergency for that state. That's right. Uh, don't leave it up to your governor to issue a state of emergency. We do it by forms like this, correct? So you might not know your governor, but these social media lights that sometimes waste social media, and we can use that social media on, um, we can use that very social media for different avenues of that sort. So if you see somebody in your state or your city picking out their brain from a narcotic, uh, try to move forward on not waiting for the governor or the mayor to issue that state of emergency for that particular state. They don't care about these synthetics sold in these stores. And we talk about real drugs. We talk to a person in Brazil today, and we're talking real cocaine versus synthetics. In my opinion, we are with Bootsy Badass on that. Bring crack back, because these synthetics and these drugs that are out nowadays are 10 times worse. And people are picking their brains out. And we have to make that change for our country. Welcome to the Photography Club. Somebody said, what? I will repeat that again. It was an individual, white male, recorded in the United States of America, picking their brain out on a narcotic. Me, as a great American citizen and just an American citizen, issues a state of emergency for that state right now and tonight at 12:15 p.m. That state should be up under a state of emergency. When we find out We'll go far to find that company that poisoned that white gentleman that was on video picking out his own brain. This is a SOS call and a rescue mission. Welcome to the Photography Plug. So that was your answer to what? If you don't understand English, if you come here to with a different agenda, say it so, and be a man about what you really are there for. I hate a Rockweller that barks after we argue earlier in the day. In other words, don't think about it, react. React to what you're gonna do, and we will see who will win that altercation. But I promise you, I'm swift and I protect myself very well. Welcome to the Photography Plug. So tonight we don't have a ton of comments. I don't blame anybody. The scenery makes up a big part of that. And when we film the scenery that we filmed tonight, we usually don't get a lot. So we're not worried about that. We've got a consecutive number right now, around 100. That's not bad. If 100 people will follow me now, my friends, the police will be informed. So it's a different technology that's very hard for people to understand. But tonight's subject was P Diddy and Diddy. That's right, being incarcerated tonight. You think about being incarcerated for that long of a period of time, only 2 nights compared to living that luxury life. I mean, would you rather be P. Diddy, but only 2 nights in jail up under your belt? I mean, there's somebody in the county jail that's been there with a $5 bond for months somewhere in this country. I mean, I'm laughing about it, but it is a serious subject that somebody is sitting there in the county jail. So can Diddy really face prosecution? In other words, has he already lived so much of a luxury life that it doesn't matter what you do to him now? Heck, he's worth $500 million. So if somebody's worth $500 million, I mean, and then see now, you're already defending yourself by being on the offense. You see somebody cross the street, you're already on point. You're thinking there's somebody right there that crossed slowly. So if I give him an easy target, he'll take an easy target. So then if I cross back over, right, I don't give him that easy target. Now, if people want to shoot from sniper, we'll all be gone. So you can forget about being Superman and thinking that whatever you come up with could maybe save your life, but more than likely not. This is a very fecal life. This is why I go live. So uh, you can have that when it is my time. One day I won't be here. One day you won't be here. One day we all won't be here. But be assured to be ready because you can defend yourself. You can defend yourself. Uh, and if you have that video, it helps out a lot more. So remember, if I had an officer tell me, well, stop video, we can have a real conversation. Well, take all the video cameras down in the city and we'll see how honest people are. So even just a car just passed by me, he kind of looked over. So some cases are unprosecutable, especially Friday night. Somebody riding down the street and just throws a bottle at you. Nobody's there to arrest that person. There's no prosecution that's ever going to take place. And they're just drunk and having fun. So they don't even mean harm, but you see right there. So it's almost like a guy with a badge on. Damn, they look like a cop. Yeah. But yeah, it kind of looks like a guy just bored on YouTube and just want to see my location. But yeah, that's pretty much it. One thing I don't do is fear none other than the Most High. And that is, in my case, that is Allah. And that is not for a fashion show, but that is for security. And I don't fear one thing or one person because I have no reason to. So welcome to the Photography Plug. We're still live. And I'm seeing paragraphs and paragraphs, uh, obviously. Say picking their brain out. Yes, it describes picking your brain out. Oh yeah, you mean the video that I was talking about, an individual that was on a narcotic, picking their brains out. My friends, if I was in that state and I had that video, I would have issued, well, gotta cross back over. See, that car came back. You gotta stay on point out here, boy. Stay on point. Yeah. Stay moving like a jaguar. Never give anybody that easy opportunity. Even if you see an officer and you say, well, if how long would that stop take? It's gonna take a lot longer. Just go right. If he's going left, you go right. If you see a cop early in the morning, you see him at that light, and you say, well, I just go this way, maybe he won't pull me over. Think of the worst case scenario. More than likely he will pull you over. So, you know, that is a thing that more than likely go the long way. Go the long way. But out here, the only one of the real threats are coyotes, wild dogs, and loose dogs. And of course, my own beautiful black people. You never have to, if you ever get shot by a police officer, it's a silver bullet. More than likely, it's not going to happen. Unfortunately, in real life, the only people that really hate you are your own people. It's a natural thing. There's nothing wrong with it. White people hate white people. Black people hate black people. It's white on white crime. It's black on black crime. It is totally natural, especially if you're young. And, talking about that, just a survival mechanism would be, say, for instance, you're walking down the street one day and this little white girl, 17 years old, she just happens to be getting her license and she runs you over. It's those thoughts like that. Like, those individuals are so dangerous. It's not necessarily the big bad guy. It's that innocent person that in the court of law can't be prosecuted for your homicide. So be very careful when you're walking down these streets, looking out for these young people that just got their license, especially white. If you're black, it was a case, and any case in the if court of law has to be referred to another case. So it was a case in of Texas where it's a 17-year-old white girl that actually ran over 4 or 5 black people. And I don't know if he was a male or female, but just making that case and keeping that in mind, keeping that in mind that uh, that they're out there, and everybody. It's a cruel world, so you always have to defend yourself, and not even when you're in the court of law, but you're on the defensive. So welcome to the photography front. Learn how to use this technology for yourself. Don't think that I'm the only one. You're on the technology. Obviously, you're a social media light. You're very smart. Uh, so find yourself very intelligent. So welcome to the Photography Plug. I appreciate you guys sticking with me through these dark areas. We will be in New York soon. We did track down your former president, your vice president of the United States of America the other day. That's right. You can go to that live. Not very many people. They had cut off the entire server. The closer I got to the vice president of the United States of America, it was literally zero people watching because they were interrupting. Secret Service was interrupting the feed. After that, Big Boogie, Kodak Black, and other artists were there. Moneybag Yo, I missed this amazing shot of Moneybag Yo. He walked right by me like he knew who I was. So he really wanted me to get the shot. And Moneybag Yo walked like he was right near me, like I had the shot, but I was looking down at my phone, uploading videos, and I missed the shot. And I just got him walking by. But the diamonds are what we are selling. We're like Jacob the Diamond. So when you see our rails, we are selling those diamonds, literally. In other words, we're going to start working for Icebox. We have a future contract with Icebox selling those diamonds, but literally, not just selling those diamonds. The clarity of the videos is what we're selling. So remember that Getty Images is worth $4.44 billion. So I greatly appreciate everybody tonight. Hope nobody was offended. And if you was, just remember, I am the photography plug, and I would like to say that we appreciate your entrepreneurship. We appreciate the fact that you're even a social media like and you're interested. But being smart and being intelligent is the way out, not ignorant or belligerent. That doesn't work in the real life. That's right. You need to figure out a way that you can say to yourself that yes, I can create the bigger and the better company than a Google. I know that's hard to say and hard to believe, but with the right mindset, you can do anything that you want to do. You can become anybody that you want to become. Even Diddy tonight in Rikers Island for the second night, or the jailhouse near Rikers. You have to think about him and all of the success from Biggie Smalls to Little Kim to G Dep, working with Nipsey and traveling the world. And most people won't ever see that in 10 lifetimes. So did Diddy actually just still win? I mean, we talk about two things: the former president of the United States of America, Donald Trump, and P. Diddy all night long. I mean, it's almost like everybody's interested in this subject, and it just won't stop. I mean, we did sign a massive protest, and eventually nobody cared. People are still caring about this issue. And we still care about police brutality in this country and every country. And I did even admit, I said, now the police in Ethiopia, what I think they would do to me is number one, I gave them my passport, very big officer. I'm a big man, but this officer was bigger than me. And that American citizenship is $1 to every officer worldwide. So don't think police brutality just is in America, it's worldwide. I thought that officer would probably hit me with the butt of his gun, knock my teeth out my mouth, and I'll be woken up by another officer pretending to be my friend and they just need money. So the reality of policing worldwide is an issue. And as the late great Bob Marley said, that every government is illegal. Welcome tonight. Are interested and kind of confused and saying that is him walking down the street live on YouTube. He's kind of like a celebrity now. I can't believe it. I grew up with him. And other people are saying, well, he's a threat to society. Picked up photography plug. Well, maybe he's a legal company and owning a camera and being black is not against the law. So there's many things they might think about you once you start your business. And some people say this is just another version of Carson Tucker. And he just took his style and now he's trying to run off and get $100 million deal like David Chappelle. Even being accused of possibly attacking David Chappelle. I mean, who attacked David Chappelle? He's not even really a celebrity, is he? I mean, gosh, maybe this guy yapping at the mouth behind the microphone is just getting on the kids' nerves, so they're all running and get their switches, not knowing that it'll just be a good shootout. So I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in tonight to a great forum. And we'll be back live tomorrow. They didn't call me into work. My boss didn't call me today. He didn't say come into work. So that leaves the day open for tomorrow. But I will have to get up early because I don't want to broadcast in the middle of the day. It's too hot outside. And then the visuals are not as good as in the morning. If you ever shoot with your photographer, make sure you do one thing for sure. And that's either shoot early in the morning or in the evening, especially in California and that beautiful sunset. I mean, you can't miss in California. No wonder they're number one in everything. Their weather is so good. It's like kind of like Miami. I mean, gosh, people, you wonder what's next for the photography plug, but I wonder what's next for that great American citizen. They just can't stop yapping and talking and wonder why. Well, hell, because his business is almost going out of business. Nobody's donating and hardly anybody is subscribing. I mean, if he was white, would he be the most influential photographer in world history already? Or is it because he's black that he's like a Kanye that even people say today that Kanye is not good enough? That yes, Kanye is still not famous, but to me, I think he's very famous and a great artist. But I think he's better than me? Well, of course not. If you tune in tonight, you tune in to the Photography Plug. I greatly appreciate your time, your commitment, your gratitude. Thank you.